A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... he landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
It is Championship Thursday. We are high atop the Auto Club Speedway, the big 2-mile D Oval, and it is time. Round number 20, chase round number 5, the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. Bring it at home tonight at Auto Club. Welcome into Turn 200's continued coverage of some Thursday night trucking. My name is Tommy Cook. We've got the main man here tonight, Joshua Motichek. We're here for the whole show for once, and what a show it's going to be tonight, partner. 2 viable contenders, a couple of long shots, and it's all on the line here for the final 100 laps of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, championship night is always just the single most thrilling night of the season, especially when we've got a championship battle like the one that has formed all season long.
And let's take a look at how things stand heading into tonight. Worth noting, James Lehman third in the standings, not too far behind, but he is not here tonight. So it, in theory, does come down to Dakota Floyd and Scott Patton. I will say Rod Mitten, not mathematically eliminated, but certainly a lot is going to have to go right for him very quickly to have a shot. But it's Dakota Floyd and Scott Patton. We've been eyeing these two for this championship battle all season. It's come to fruition. 11 points doesn't seem like a whole lot, but you expect these two to be contending for the win. There's not a whole lot of points up for grabs at the front of this field if these two are going to run side-by-side all race.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, both of these guys, super quick everywhere they go. But, I mean, a track like Auto Club, I mean, it tends to favor the long-run drivers. There's a lot of tire wear. It's a big track, not many cautions typically. So I'm kind of thinking Dakota Floyd has the favor going into Auto Club tonight.
Certainly would seem that way. Right now, Scott Patton is doing his part. He's on provisional pole with not a whole lot of drivers out left on the track to try and out-qualify him. Dakota Floyd right now 5th on the starting grid as the last driver has just turned their final lap. We're going to be gridding up here in about 15 seconds. I think it's worth pointing out as well, Scott Patton won at Michigan, very similar with a newer track surface compared to Auto Club, but the driver that finished second to him was Dakota Floyd. So Patton has won here at Auto Club before. He's won at Michigan, but Floyd has been very fast at just about every single track type that we've had this season, and that was no different when we were at Michigan in the final round before the chase kicked off. So that is how it stands heading into the final race of season number 1 of 2025, and here being sung to the starting grid by the dulcet tones of Mullet Music Productions and Joshua Rutherford taking control. I'm sorry, who will take control of the championship after 100 laps tonight at the Auto Club Speedway? It is Scott Patton, and the driver that will give up the crown of the reigning series champion after it's all said and done tonight, Greg Mall on the outside pole. Justin Michael and Will Kirk on row number 2. They have a lot to prove after lackluster chase entries this season. Dakota Floyd is the championship favorite right now, but he starts back in 5th with Jack Watts to his outside. Row number 4 is Joshua Fracker, coming off a career-best finish at Darlington last week. He starts on the inside of Rod Mitten, who has a long shot opportunity, but he needs a lot to go his way. 43 points back in the 8th position. Christopher Howell and Waldy Turheimer round out your top 10 starters. It is Riley Laverne and Charlie Widener, fresh off the podium at Darlington on the outside. Row number 6, Rob Haynes and Jordan Neese on row 7. Chris Braley and David Rigsby on row number 8. Row number 9 is Chris Voiles and Heath Smith. Billy Baumgartner, Matt Rodolasso round out your top 20 starters. Trent Drum, Bill Paradise, Zachary Groover, Brad Slagle, and Kerry Cleaver. 25 drivers for 100 laps here tonight at the Auto Club Speedway. Mr. Motichek, what are these drivers up against here this evening at the Big 2 Miler?
Yeah, I mean, it's the usual Max V, so 3 extra sets of tires. Going to be very, very important as the track temp is currently 122 degrees. So tire wear going to be a huge factor in this race. No fast repairs, incident limits stand. 16X is a drive-through and 21 will be a disqualification. 70% fuel should put the fuel window somewhere around 35 laps if our guess is correct. 100 laps is the complete distance here, which will make the stage break on lap 25. So definitely going to be interesting with the way that this fuel window falls. Looking at definitely a 3-stopper, no doubt.
Scott Patton has done a lot on this channel. He's won a lot of races. He's in the top 10 all-time wins on Turn 200. He's won here at Auto Club before. But wouldn't he like to tick that one box as we're getting ready to move away from full-time sim racing coverage here on Turn 200 and pick himself up the big hardware? He says he's going trophy hunting. There's no bigger trophy than the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series Championship. He's got a lot to prove, and he's got a long way to do it here with 100 laps ahead of him, but he's got the pole, already some bonus points in his favor. He would like to win the stage and narrow this gap up just a little bit more.
Yeah, when it comes to this point in the championship, every single point matters.
11 points between Scott Patton and Dakota Floyd. They start 1st and 5th respectively. Final green flag of the season is out at Auto Club.
Good start from Patton. Patton having the preferred line here anyway through 1 and 2. Greg Mall going to hang on around the top of Justin Michael. Michael slide up and fall in line, but here comes Dakota Floyd, and they're 3 wide already.
This is Auto Club. It's rough, it's bumpy, it's big, and it's wide, and most importantly, it is fast, even on cold tires and a hot track surface. Scott Patton pulling the train right now. Maul, Michael, Floyd, and Kirk. As Patton is going to lead the field across the stripe. That's another bonus point in his camp. I will say Dakota Floyd's usual strategy of the long run and kind of laying back. I'm not sure I'd want to put myself in the middle of the pack here at Auto Club. You see him still fanned out 2 and 3 wide. These guys will be packed up for the entirety of this stage. Lots of opportunities for danger.
Yeah, definitely. Greg Maul looking to the inside of Patton for the lead.
Not quite clear now as Patton eases up in the middle of the corner there. Maul will slide up and take the lead. And it'll be a reigning series champion headed back to the stripe to pick up a bonus point. Still trying to crack the top 5 in the standings at the end of the chase here. Purple lap for Will Kirk riding in third. He's just wanting a good night to send this season to bed. It's been a rough few weeks for driver 9. 3 wide there momentarily with Christopher Howell on the outside of Laverne and Fracker. As Dakota Floyd picked up a spot early, now he's dropped 2. He's back to 6th. But now to the inside of Rod Mitten looking for 5th as Mitten cracks the wall. Pretty good there out of 4.
Bunch of chase drivers here in this top 6.
Here goes Scott Patton back to the lead. 3 wide there momentarily as Dakota Floyd moves back to 5th underneath Mitten, who was getting worked over by Joshua Fracker as well. Fracker back in line now, tucked in right behind the 92. And he'll take it.
See everybody fan out through the corners, but fall right back in line. The draft here is super, super important. I mean, if you get out of the draft, it's no different than a super speedway race. You are losing speed.
Yeah, really, Michigan and Auto Club do function like super speedway races. I think the big difference here is the tire wear in Michigan is sneaky. There's nothing sneaky about it. It's about as sneaky as a right hook from Mike Tyson here. This is an old track surface and never got repaved before it was demolished in 2023. I mean, it was paved in 1997. We're talking old asphalt here.
Yep, definitely does not like the tires, that's for sure.
I mean, you can even see it a little bit. We'll get a better shot of it as it come back down the back straightaway next time. It's bumpy.
It is very bumpy. Makes for a good workout, though.
Yeah, yes it does. 100 laps is nothing to scoff at. That's what we did here in Truck 200. 200 miles here in Fontana, California. As Michael, Floyd, Mitten, Fracker all mixing it up here from 4th on back. A little camera shake here, but you can see the front end of the 57 of Floyd just bouncing around. So we'll take a look down low.
Fracker tried to look underneath Mitten. Not able to get it done. Mitten now with a run.
But still, most of this field back to Riley Laverne, basically nose to tail. That's your top 11. Michael trying to make sure that this second group stays with your top 3. But not a surprise at all for me to see Michael and Floyd together, not quite pushing the issue as hard as some of the drivers around him. That's about the best you can do for the 2 drivers that like to ride around and save tire where possible.
Yeah, definitely. I know personally I'm not the fastest guy around Auto Club, so hanging with somebody who can give me a tow for a stint is definitely helpful.
On board with the race leader is Greg Maul. He's searching around. We're trying to get clean air to the noses of these trucks. Into the speed trap down the back straightaway. Maul in the slipstream about 182 miles an hour. It's pretty fast for a truck.
A lot faster than my truck will go.
Some shuffling. I think Rod Minton caught the wall again. He has dropped outside of the top 10 and is going to continue to fall. He was hovering right around that battle for the top 5, and now he is back to 14th.
Yeah, that's going to put a big gap from the top 5 to 6th on back.
And his very, very outside shot at the championship is dwindling here. He basically needed to win the stage and make sure that Patton and Floyd didn't get any stage points, and that is looking to be the exact opposite of what is about to happen. Mitten's had a solid chase, but is not going to have a shot at the title if things continue the way that they are right now. Especially with Scott Patton still pulling the train here. Here's James Lehman in the chat. Appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Sorry that you can't be out here going for the chip. Luckily, we don't have to wait very long to get the next season underway. We'll be back in 2 weeks from Phoenix for season number 2 of the 2025 season. Or the 2025 calendar year, I guess, with Max V. Now,
yeah, short off season really helps keep the hands warm.
Yeah, definitely. Hands definitely be pretty warm. Little separation. Top 5 have pulled away from Christopher Howell there in 6th. Patton, Mall, Kirk, Michael, and Floyd. A lot of race wins in this grouping, not just this season, but all time in Max V.
Michael going to take it to the top. Him and Kirk side by side. Floyd following Kirk. Ball in line.
Oh, Michael rolled out of it there, and Kirk had to ease up. He drove it a little bit deeper there into turn number 3.
Yeah, that's going to give Floyd a little run on him. Not enough.
Patton having to start to snake around a little bit, throw some dirty air backwards. Not even halfway to the stage break of yet. No cautions so far in our 12 completed laps. As Maul is looking down low for the lead once again. We'll see if Justin Michael is going to play favorites here. Does have the option to go to a third lane if he so chooses. As Patton is trying to keep Maul bound to the bottom there.
Floyd starting. Oh, Kirk
Kirk
is in the wall.
That was a big shot there as he tried to just ease up a little bit to the outside. I mean, you know as well as anybody, as soon as you start to move yourself up the hill, the truck is going to take over and move you the rest of the way up into the wall. Able to maintain speed pretty well, and that did trip up Dakota Floyd just a bit, and Christopher Howell is coming up. And in the meantime, Justin Michael now completes his pass on Greg Mall for second.
So thinking about Dakota Floyd here, I mean, if I'm struggling to get up to Patton, my best hope is that Justin Michael is able to get to him and pass him to at least steal 1 point away. That being said, Floyd is able to get around Kirk. Kirk might have a little bit of aero drag from scraping that wall pretty hard.
I think Floyd was getting along okay until Kirk tripped him up a little bit. He'll have to hope that Greg Mall can hang on for a couple more laps as Floyd's still trying to reestablish some momentum running the middle and top side of the circuit. And especially since Justin Michael is not really looking for a move like Dakota Floyd is on Greg Mall. He is more trying to push Scott Patton away, make sure that he can at least claw a couple of points away from Floyd.
Floyd right down to the bottom, trying to make up as much ground as he can.
He is going. So Patton did get 1 point for the pole position, so that brings the gap down to 10.
And he does currently have another point on Floyd for leading a lap, whereas Floyd has not.
Indeed. So that's 9. Right now for Patton, 2 ahead in the stage would bring the gap to 7. We'll have to see how the race shakes out from there. The Auto Club is very much a 50-50 ball. We could very well, after the stage break, as Justin Michaels going for a move for the lead here, after the stage break, we could have 5 cautions just as easily as we could have 0. Hard telling.
Justin Michael looking to the inside, getting out of line. That's going to allow Floyd to pull alongside of Michael using the draft.
Oh, as Kirk and Howell getting tangled together behind them. Yeah, I don't know if Michael was just trying to break the toe a little bit to Dakota Floyd or if he was actually making a move for the lead. Either way, Patton had it covered off, and now they've got Floyd boxed into the top side of the track.
Looking at the tire age here, though, I'm not sure that's too bad of a deal for Floyd. I mean, he is one who does well on the older tires, and further you get along in the stage, the higher you want to go on track. So Floyd definitely using that momentum line to his advantage.
Oh, Patton into the wall. We were on the right rear camera. Yeah, that will definitely cost him some time, and now you see him moving around trying to make sure that Floyd cannot find a way through with the momentum he had through the tri-oval. Now resigned to the bottom of the track, looking a little bit uneasy, drifting back towards that wall. Floyd is going to have a run on him, and he's got Justin Michael helping him along just a bit. I don't think he's quite going to get close enough to be able to make a move stick, so Patton survived that one, but he's not out of the woods yet. Greg Mall is pulled back up into the fray, and Howell and Kirk still not too far behind. Jack Watts, Riley Laverne, Rod Minton back up to 9th, and Rob Haynes in 10th. As they go, here is Floyd down low. Can he find his way to the point? Here's Justin Michael rim riding, looking to make it 3 wide. Patton will get up in front of his teammate and hope for a push down the backstretch as Floyd still hanging out underneath the 46. Patton trying to keep him pinched.
Bottom being the quicker way around, but with that extra push from Michael, that top, it's going to be hard to get around.
You know, you can find the good drivers just by seeing who is actually able to make the bottom work at Auto Club, especially in 3 and 4. So tricky on the bottom of 3 and 4. Very bumpy, not a lot of grip. Floyd made it look easy. But now Justin Michael is going to retake second. That's another point in the camp for Scott Patton.
Well, going to look back to that slightly higher line. Try and get some of that momentum built back up. Michael gets to the higher line through 1 and 2. Floyd looked to the bottom. Not going to have enough momentum for a run. Michael shaking up the draft a little bit.
Four to go in the stage at the line. Howell and Kirk battling hard for 4th, bringing Jack Watts into the mix here.
Jack Watts been a silent underdog all season.
Yes, indeed. Very good chase run. Looking to finish in the top 5 in the standings. All started with that podium at IRP. And hoping he could take that forward in a couple weeks' time into the new season. And Watts got them both. Just picked them both off now into the top 5. Out of turn number 2. Nicely done. Back up front. Patton trying to hang on. Michael going to take another run from the wall to the back bumper of his teammate. Oh, nope. He's going to take it down low, looking for the lead. He led it at the stripe, and he's got it. Pat now going to look to cross him up. This might put him in a bit of trouble here. Floyd to run in the middle. Oh, but Scott's going to pull it off. Back up in front.
Michael got into the wall ever so slightly.
These two wearing each other out.
Michael showing just how powerful that run off the top can be.
Whoa, loose. Big time loose. Now it's Floyd with a run. He's going to have positioning here on the outside. No, Patton shuts the door with a foot to spare, maybe less. Greg Mall going to stick his nose into the mix here. Nearly 4 wide as they're fanning out. They all want the stage win. Patton needs the stage win. He needs any point that he can get on Dakota Floyd.
Gonna block the top. Floyd looking to kind of pull down on him, but here comes Justin Michael underneath. Gonna make it 3 wide off of 4.
Trying to side draft this 57 and pull him back, but Floyd now is doing the same to Patton. We are 3 wide at the line with lap 25 on the board. This is the final lap of the stage. Floyd with a nose out ahead. Patton flirting with the wall there. Michael coming out ahead on the bottom, but not clear.
Roll down into 3 for the last time in this stage. Floyd gonna get around Patton. Michael still on the bottom. Gonna cross him up.
Floyd down to the grass. Green and checkers are out, and Justin Michael wins the stage. Scott Patton back to 3rd. And we're just about back to where we started. Patton led almost every single lap of that stage except for the last one. And a couple more towards the front when Greg Mall was out front. But, wow, that is devastating for Scott Patton's chances. Thought maybe Michael was going to aid Scott Patton a little bit more. Maybe was trying to, and the circumstances just kind of got away from him a bit. But Patton now really only gained 1 point there through that whole getting the pole, leading a lap. Floyd may have snuck a lap in there as they were 3 wide coming across the line with a lap to go in the stage. It was awfully close. Certainly had the nose out ahead when they entered turn number 1. So Patton now knows where he stands, and he did not make up much ground there through the stage.
Yeah, so just a quick review. Floyd did not have the position at the line, so Floyd has yet to lead a lap. Everybody down pit road.
So then unofficially, I think the gap stands at 10. And Patton needing to beat Dakota Floyd by 10 positions doesn't seem likely, but it's not impossible, especially with a restart looming and how well these drivers are going to execute here on pit road. Will Kirk has slid his box.
Howland also way through his box.
Race off goes to Justin Michael. Patton out second ahead of Dakota Floyd.
Patton one who is absolutely brilliant on pit stops.
Helps to have that stall, but you're right. Patton is excellent on pit road. Hardly ever a mistake from the 46. Michael, Patton, Floyd, Watts, Haynes, your top 5. Smith, Mitten, Mall, Widener, and Kirk, the top 10. With problems for Mall and Kirk in particular. Couple of extended stops on pit road, like you mentioned, for Howell. Wally Turheimer as well. Well, I mean, the odds are growing longer. We'll say that.
Definitely not as comfortable as Patton wanted to be.
I would wager, I guess, to say that he's quite uncomfortable. I mean, he wasn't shy about his chances when we talked to him a couple weeks ago at Darlington. He said it's going to be tough. And it certainly is looking pretty tough. Could very well have a two-stopper to the end here. If we've got the fuel numbers correct, which we don't always, but, you know. But how will cautions play in? Will they play in at all? Or will this be the last time the yellow laundry is hung here at the Auto Club Speedway? Justin Michael in Scott Patton up front. Dakota Floyd in control of the championship in third. Jack Watts to his outside. Rob Haynes, Heath Smith, row 3. Greg Mull, Rod Mitten, row 4. Charlie Widener and Will Kirk rounding out the top 10. Coming to the line to put lap number 29 up on the board. Green flag is back in the air.
Michael with a good start, but Patton able to slot into that second spot in front of Floyd.
Yeah, Floyd not a good start, but he does get wound up with the help of Rob Haynes there. He's got Patton back to a couple of car lengths. Not that it's going to matter too terribly much. He'll still have the draft down the backstretch.
Got together down the backstretch. Widener being pushed by Nice. Big runs. Nice all the way to the apron.
And Widener now in the middle of 3 wide. Battling for 6th. Watts surges ahead. Nice up 6 from where he started. Widener up 5. There's a little activity up front. There's Floyd swinging it underneath Patton, who had a look to the inside of Justin Michael. But now it's your championship protagonists side by side as Floyd and Patton are inches apart.
Man, very close proximity for how wide this track is.
Patton to the outside of Michael. And Michael with company down low.
3 wide for the lead again.
Michael going to roll out of it and let these two wear each other out. And Rob Haynes coming to play. Absolutely. Wouldn't expect anything less. Haynes up 10 from where he took the green flag from. Michael, the long run guy. Thinking maybe we've weathered our opportunity for a caution here after the restart. I'm not so sure yet. For all this space that we're using, or have to use on the track, not using very much of it.
Definitely not. Starting to get strung out here, single file pretty quick. Jordan Nice and Charlie Widener still side by side. Will Kirk in that mix. Nice now with a good run. Gonna look to crack that top 5 rolling into turn 1. right on the bumper.
Patton may have clipped the apron there a little bit, got a little loose. Floyd has got to run. Would love to be able to complete it into turn number 1. He'd also love to be able to lead a lap here. He's yet to do that, and that would bring him back to even.
Two championship contenders, neck and neck. Less than halfway through the race already.
Rob Haynes coming into play with his teammate Scott Patton in front of him. As Floyd is drifting up the track, Patton has to roll out of it to keep it out of the wall. And again, I think that was a case of trying to move up the track just a little bit and Auto Club having its way and pulling him the rest of the way up.
Yeah, and that will give Floyd the spot across the line.
So it's back to 11 now, as Floyd beating Patton by 1 spot in the stage break negates all the gains that Patton had made by leading a lap and winning the pole. For Patton to have to find a way to really win by 12 positions over Dakota Floyd. Still a long way to go in this one, 65 in fact at the line, but man, the way things are shaping up, you know, not to toot our own horns, but we've been calling this since we came on air, that these were the two to beat. You know, they've not been completely indestructible this chase. They've both made mistakes. The results, I don't think, have quite been as good as maybe we were expecting or they were expecting. But still, they find themselves in this position due to consistency and being able to turn bad races into okay races. And here we are. Lots of shuffling at the bottom of the field. I think we have a couple of drivers with some connectivity issues. Yeah, to your point, look at this behind Neeson Mall and Justin Michael. Lots to be settled still.
Yeah, bunch of trucks just all bunched together.
Not sure if we said hello to the folks that are chatting with us yet. I think we said hello to James, but we have not said hello to the Moticheks or Michelle Kirk, so hello to everybody. Will is in the top 10 after a slight miscue on his pit stop, still hanging around. He's got plenty of speed. He'll have another opportunity to get up to the front here before too much longer. Floyd doing his bit here and pushing Scott Patton away. Now, I would say that is smart, knowing that these two, really Floyd needs to get beat by some 12 positions to lose this championship. And if it's just these two up front, no matter where they finish, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, it definitely is a interesting predicament to be in if you are Scott Patton. Patton leading up to this point, running the best race that he can, and still not much that he can do to gain any more points.
Certainly not. They've pulled away from Rob Haynes with Floyd's efforts to bump draft the 46 away from the rest of the pack. That group of Greg Mall on back, over a second behind, still will be able to get a little bit of a pull, but not quite as strong here at Auto Club. As Floyd looking to flex his muscles a little bit and get away through on Patton. You notice as soon as he does that, this field starts to close back in just a little bit, opening up a bigger pocket of air at the front of this field.
Just goes to show how powerful that draft is.
Only a 10th here and a 10th there, but when you're right on that window, being a second behind, every little bit helps.
Still side by side for the lead off of 4.
This is what Rob Haynes is seeing out of his windshield. As they are indeed still side by side. Justin Michaels started to climb back up into the mix here just a bit. Just got around Greg Mall. Will set his sights now on Rob Haynes. Won't have too much further up until he can get back into the mix for the lead. Floyd leading it across the line, but still cannot shake Patton to the outside. And not only Michael closing back in, but everybody, as these two have been side by side for the better part of 3 laps in a row.
Patton right up against the wall down the backstretch.
Oh, contact! As Patton turned down the track. Now, the exact opposite of what Dakota Floyd was trying to do earlier. Patton is doing everything he can to stay to the outside, keeping it wide. So there's the opportunity for Floyd to drop back through this field. Floyd, the long-run driver, he has been pedal to the metal all race at the front of this field, but down on the bottom of this track, using up his stuff on a very high degradation surface here at Auto Club. And now everybody is just about back into play. Top 5, all within half a second of Patton and Floyd, and now Rob Haynes to the outside of Floyd, as that was nearly disaster for your championship contenders.
I thought Patton was going head on into the wall. Man, oh man.
That was close.
Oh. Back to your earlier point, Tommy. Can't help but wonder how these tires are hanging on for Floyd.
I think hanging on is the correct vernacular there. Because those two being side by side for nearly 5 laps was not doing either of them any favors. Like it did Patton more favors than Floyd, but still probably not going to help them very much in the long run.
Absolutely not. Justin Michael.
Slicing and dicing.
Look to the inside of Haynes now. Inside of Haynes. Oh, and he's sliding. But he's going to get all the way up against Dakota Floyd. Can't help but wonder if these two leaders' tires are going quickly. Right at the quarter.
Man.
And almost in the wall.
Man. I mean, that's typical Justin Michael, though. Wins the stage, drops back out of sight, out of mind very quickly at the start of the stage, and then just comes roaring back to life. About 15 laps into the run here, maybe a couple laps more. And he is on point and looking to drive away.
Yeah, definitely that tire save strategy coming into play as we're looking at 20 laps since the green dropped after the stage caution.
Pit stops probably another 10 laps away at least. Probably. There is every chance that we are not looking at the fuel numbers, especially Patton and Floyd now. They may be thinking, oh, I don't have much tire left.
Yeah, definitely a lot more to consider than just running it empty, that's for sure.
There's the bumps and whoops from the kickpot cam of your reigning series champion Greg Mall as Scott Patton coming down to the bottom of the track in 3 and 4. Not quite a challenge on Justin Michael, but trying to rally himself back into the fight anyway. Floyd now going to take another look down low.
I mean, surely Patton's got to be at least a little bit tired of seeing an orange truck to his left side.
I think so. I think he's probably tired of seeing the Gorilla Glue truck in general, but also tonight. I think the great thing about this championship battle, and especially Dakota Floyd's first season here in Manx V, very quickly became a contender for this championship. As we see, it looks like Rod Mitten is coming to pit road, and he does make it down to pit road. But, I mean, I don't think he's run afoul of anybody. He has made his mark very clean. And, I think he's cashing in on the respect of his fellow drivers, because right now he is surrounded by teammates of Scott Patton, and they've all run him very, aggressive. It's Bandit Motorsports. They run hard. They run each other hard. But they've all run Dakota Floyd very, very clean. And likewise.
Yep. Lots of respect passed around through this grid. That is for sure.
Rod Mitten on and off pit road. Thought he maybe come in a little hot, but seemingly not. That was Michael into the wall, and Patton and Floyd are going to be bringing a run. Jordan Neese, Trent Drum down pit road. Neese will probably start to send some momentum upwards through the running order here, as he was running just outside of the top 5 as Patton pulls the trigger on this slider. He licked that stamped and mailed it.
Michael gonna tuck right in line and give him the run.
David Rigsby is down pit road. There you see the 12 of Jordan Neese blending back onto the track. Hopefully he didn't just put his right side tires up above that white line before he crossed the blue cone. Otherwise he'll be coming back down pit road here pretty quickly. Matt Rodolasso is in.
Yeah, so Mitten and Neese coming out where they did, that might bridge this gap back to Heath Smith in 6th and kind of give a little bit of a trail for them to catch back up to this top 5.
Here comes Riley Laverne from the top 10. This is Rod Mitten making it 3 wide on much fresher tires. There you see the benefit of 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods as he checked out. Neese is following through on the bottom as well. I mean, I'll look at the numbers here this time around, but I mean, that is mega. But you also want to have that advantage yourself as late as possible into this run. You just got to find the sweet spot for it. Michael won't be able to pit this time from the top side. Doesn't look like Scott Patton or Dakota Floyd are either. Last lap around for Jordan Neese was a 41.46. Or sorry, it was a 41.85 to a 43.84. So 2 full seconds quicker on fresh tires. That's pretty sporty.
Definitely a lot more than even, that's for sure.
Yeah. But maybe just a bit too early for some of these drivers. Patton migrating down to the bottom of the track, not going to pull the trigger. As Bill Paradise is down pit road, here come Jack Watts and Will Kirk. More drivers from the top 10 is Justin Michael looking to make the move to regain the lead. Michael's got it. Maul to the inside of Dakota Floyd, maybe swipes up the track. at the tailgate of the 57. Patton down
wow.
to block the advance of Dakota Floyd. Maybe that's his signal that he might be coming this time. Either that or he is making the move on Justin Michael. Patton slowing. Here he comes.
Yep, that's definitely going to trigger something else in this top 5.
Heath Smith follows him in. That was a fairly aggressive entry there for Patton, but very well controlled. And we'll see what this does now. Brad Slagle in this time by as well.
I have a feeling that we are about to see a lot of drivers come down pit road at one time.
Very well could be. Michael slowing, Floyd slowing. Hard to tell, though. They're both coming. Maul going to try and pull the trigger late. Rob Haynes is going to go around, but he misses the 57, and he misses the inside wall. He's going to lose a ton of time, but well done to not make that any worse than it could have been for a lot of other folks. Michael, Maul, Floyd Widener, Zachary Groover, Rob Haynes, Billy Bumgardner, Christopher Howell, all down pit road this time. You hit it right on the head. That is pretty much everybody that had yet to come down pit road.
Yeah, Floyd had a really...
Oh, Maul slid his box. Maul still is not in his box. That is going to be a killer. Without a caution, that is going to take him out of the win here.
I know the feeling. Patton gonna have a relatively large advantage.
That scared me with Floyd blinking there for a second. It was gonna suck tremendously, but we're okay. So Patton out third. Nice and Mitten side by side for the lead right now. They are 6 seconds clear on Scott Patton, but again, with many laps older tires now. That's such a high tire degradation track. Scott Patton's advantage back to Dakota Floyd is 4.5 seconds. And look at all these trucks that Dakota Floyd is going to have to pass, whether he has fresher tires or not. That is... I mean, he's in the 11th. Justin Michael's in 4th. A lot of work ahead. This is the scenario that Scott Patton needs. But he needs more. And he needs Floyd to not make up any ground. And he's already starting to pick off drivers as he's through on Trent Drum, through on Heath Smith. He's got Jack Watson, Kerry Cleaver side by side in front of him.
Definitely needs to be on the move here, but worried about those tires.
Yeah, he will have to be putting the pedal to the metal to catch up to Scott Patton, and that advantage might even out here pretty quickly. This Patton having to do a lot less work at the front of this field. About 3.5 seconds removed from Jordan Nice and Rod Mitten before he can get back into the mix for the race lead. As Nice and Mitten are trying to help each other out a little bit as the 12 bump draft in the 92. We'll jump back to Heath Smith and Riley Laverne side by side for 7th.
Jack Watts also in that mix for 7th. Dakota Floyd made quick work of that Latter half of the top 10, still 4 seconds up the road to Patton, though.
Yeah, did not gain very much time despite gaining a lot of points and positions back. As it stands right now, I believe, unofficially of course, Floyd is still up by 7 markers. So nothing to worry about for him yet, even if he finished right here. Only 2 more points that Patton could gain. Potentially a third if he's able to lead the most laps, which as of right now he has. Patton is at least in the same shot now as Minton and Nice, only 1 second behind. Remember, that was a 4.5 second gap when he came out of the pits. So Patton on the much fresher tires is eating into this gap quite quickly. He might be able to get into the lead next time around. That is how much quicker he is moving.
Yeah, Patton about 6 lap fresher tires, as well as having a whole lot of draft to pick him up.
Yeah, 43.25 for the leader last time around compared to a 42.10. It's 1.1 seconds faster, and Patton is going to take it 3 wide as Nice and Minton are bouncing off each other and bouncing off the wall.
Patton says, I don't want to waste any more time than I have to.
No. Dakota Floyd is through on Will Kirk. Move Floyd up to 5th as Patton is trying to slide up in front of Nice. Nice fighting back. So next up for Floyd is Justin Michael. And Patton is back to the lead. Nice back to 2nd, Minton in 3rd, Justin Michael in 4th, and Dakota Floyd in 5th.
Gap from Floyd to Patton in the lead is 3.5 seconds, so only a half a second made up, but still 4 spots back from Patton.
Pretty spread out through the field, save for a couple of tight battles. Trent Drum, Zachary Groover, Greg Mall, Charlie Widener all battling for the 11th position. Drum, one of the first drivers down pit road, is starting to give up some positions here. He'll lose 3 in the space of this lap alone. As now Justin Michael through on Rod Minton. Michael is up to 3rd. Minton, another early pitter with Jordan Nice, slipping back here little by little. Michael going to have a go to try and take 2nd away. He's got it. That's more space back to Dakota Floyd. He is 2 seconds back from Justin Michael, 3.25 seconds back from Scott Patton. A little bit behind Floyd. Heath Smith through on Will Kirk. Smith up to 6th. Kirk back to 7th. Now here's the 1-point question. Will Justin Michael pass Scott Patton? I mean, he beat him for the stage. At this point, why not just beat him for the race win, too?
I mean, if I know Justin Michael well enough from just one season of watching him race, I think he's going for gold.
I think you're right. Floyd is through on Minton. Next up will be Jordan Nice, and then we'll be right back to 1, 2, 3, Patton, Michael, and Floyd. Looking at the lap times, Justin Michael's the fastest driver on track, but Dakota Floyd not too far behind him on the lap time chart. 1 lap fresher tires than Scott Patton. But, I mean, he's had to pass a ton of trucks to get back into the fight here. Thought that might have wore him down just a bit, but it has not seemed to. This time around for Floyd, 42.91 compared to a 43.21 for Patton. So Floyd making time on the race leader. Justin Michael making time hand over fist right now. Still the fastest driver with a 42.84.
Oh, man, Floyd and Nice barely get together down into 3.
Floyd now back to 3rd. Still well in control of this championship battle by, we think, 9 points. And the Jaws music starts to play once again for Scott Patton as his teammate Justin Michael has crept up on him.
Doing just a tad bit of quick math, I don't believe we're gonna be able to make it to the end here, so still should be looking at another round of pit cycles.
As I say, even if you're just looking at the tires alone, which I think that's probably what these drivers are focused on, is Justin Michael is through to the lead once again. They did not run very long on the tires they just took off. So I'd imagine probably another 15 laps or so, we're going to start to see that green flag pit cycle open up again. So the gap stands unofficially at 10 points. Scott Patton is in the hole, and the driver that is ahead of him in the points is only 1 spot behind him on the running order and making up time still. He slowed down a bit. Only a 10th quicker last time around was Floyd over Patton. Still 2.2 seconds stand between them. And Justin Michael is about to check out, as Patton may have got a piece of the wall there. Going to look a little bit further back into the top 10 now as we got a good battle here. Jack Watts, Ron Mitten, Will Kirk. As Kirk and Mitten nearly coming together. This is Mitten on older tires, dropping back. One of the first drivers to pit under this cycle. Kirk was another early pitter, but not quite as early as Mitten and Jordan Nice. And not on camera right now, but Jordan Nice still in the top 5. Looking ahead to next season, while we've got an opportunity to, we got a big crop of drivers that came in the mid-season to run what is now the rotating car series on Monday nights for Max V. They didn't get a full crack at the points championship or season calendar, but you got to be excited here in a couple weeks' time to get back to it. Guys like Jordan Nice, Riley Laverne, a couple other drivers that's consistently running in the top 10 and the top 5. If they so choose, they'll have an opportunity to mix it up for a title or for a chase berth next season. Excited for all the new blood that's hanging around here for next season in Max V. As Will Kirk completing that pass on Ron Mitten. Imagine the alarm bells are sounding a little bit for the 92 truck, and we shouldn't be too much longer before we see Mitten down pit road here.
Yeah, Mitten sitting at 24 laps on those tires. His previous stint, only 22.
That doesn't sound like a lot, but remember, this is a big 2-mile track, and that's only, we think, about 10 laps removed from the fuel window. And whether it sounds like a lot or not, you and I both know 25 laps year-round Auto Club is punishing on the tires.
Absolutely, especially when that track temp reads 121.
He is
definitely not taking any prisoners.
last lap around was 2.2 seconds off of his personal fastest lap. That is huge. Patton is second behind Michael and 1.7 seconds ahead of Dakota Floyd. Floyd's times continue to fall off little by little here. But still just marginally faster than Patton every time around. Trent Drum is throwing in the towel. He will come down and get 4 fresh Dr. Feelgoods for the final 25 laps of this race.
Patton showed just how important that one-lap undercut can be, so curious to see if we see Floyd fire it back at him.
Floyd down to the flat as Rod Mitten has abandoned ship. He is down pit road, and I think with Rob Haynes now coming as well, that we are officially in the home stretch here. Kerry Cleaver down as well. That makes 4 drivers. And our final round of green flag pit stops is underway.
I think if I'm in Dakota Floyd's situation here, I want to soak up as much of that gap to Patton as I can. But as soon as I catch him, I don't want to linger. I want to go ahead and pit.
Jordan Neese is in. Held on a couple laps longer than some of the drivers he was hanging around. Last time by only 500ths quicker. Floyd's advantage over Patton is dwindling. So he might have gotten all the good out of these tires that he can get. Wally Turheimer down pit road this time as well. Chris Braley is in too. Patton, a second and a half behind Justin Michael, the race leader. Jack Watts, Will Kirk from 5th and 6th. Watts sideways, hangs on to it. Bill Paradise in as well. Michael going to take another lap around, so will Patton. But Floyd is continuing to chip away at it now. He's caught a little bit of a second wind after a couple of slow laps. Greg Mall is down pit road. Riley Laverne will follow.
Wouldn't be too surprised if we see this gap start to cut pretty quickly now. Floyd almost in that draft window. It's definitely going to be a huge help down these long straights.
Top 11 have yet to pit. Michael Floyd, Patton, Smith, Groover, Widener, Howell, Slagle, Bumgardner. Chris Voiles and David Rigsby bring it down this time.
And here comes that gap. Dakota Floyd caught right up to the back of Patton.
Yeah, that didn't take long at all, did it? A second and a half down to side by side. Patton has not literally hit the wall, but these tires have hit their wall, that is for sure. And it is time to make a move for one of the two of them. Patton right down to the bottom of the track. Is this where he pulls the trigger? No, it is not. He'll soldier on. Billy Bumgardner down pit road as Floyd is looking to take second away. They make contact. Banging doors through the tri-oval. Heath Smith, Brad Slagle in this time by, and Dakota Floyd is through to second. And you don't see many scenarios from here on out where Scott Patton can walk away with this without some kind of major issue here for Dakota Floyd in the final pit stop. Patton throwing the sails. It's Patton to pit road this time. Trying to get all he can get. Smoking the tires. He won't need these 4 anymore.
Patton seemingly in very cleanly. As we mentioned earlier, Patton very good under green flag pit stops.
Justin Michael slowing. He is coming to pit road. Dakota Floyd came with him last time. He'll come with him this time. Michael is off and through the grass. I don't think he made the commitment cone. Floyd passes him on pit road entry regardless. As Charlie Widener will stay out to lead. We're still green. Floyd and Michael side by side. Now Michael going to have to woe up to get into his box here, presumably. Wow. I don't think that cost Dakota Floyd any time. Michael was far enough ahead where it was resolved by the time Dakota Floyd caught up to him. But Floyd is going to get out ahead of Justin Michael regardless. As Michael, I would imagine, had some kind of penalty either for an improper pit entry or for speeding or for both. But Michael no longer in it for the win. As Christopher Howell now will pit, and that should complete the cycle. Scott Patton is out third. Heath Smith in front of him is for position. Dakota Floyd is only in 8th, which is still not enough.
Looking at about the same gap as last pit cycle, right around that 4-second mark.
And very fittingly, it could be Patton and Floyd going for the race win now. As this truck up on the top side is your race leader, that's Jordan Neese. Much older tires than what Patton and Smith and everybody else have. But Patton looking for clean air up at the front of this field. If he can get through on Jordan Neese. Wow, that was aggressive. Patton slides up with an inch to spare to take the race lead away from Jordan Neese. Goodness me.
Heath Smith here with only 1 lap older tires than Patton. So Smith, seemingly out of nowhere, might also be in contention.
There's the move. Wow, that was not very much at all. Yeah, Smith could be in it here. If he can hang with Patton. So 5 spots between them. It's still Floyd plus 5. Patton, I think, will have led the most laps by the end of this race. Michael will be close. But I think with Patton out in front right now, that's probably going to short up from him. So that will bring him another point closer. But it's still, he's going to need Dakota Floyd to start going the other direction here. And unfortunately for him, that is not happening. This is Justin Michael 1 lap down after the pit road miscue there, maybe trying to hold up Dakota Floyd just a bit. And I'll go in search of Michael coming down pit road here. I'm not sure if it actually marked it or not. And it's It's already happened there. That's him coming into his box. So we'll back it up and follow the saga here with Justin Michael. We were riding along with him and heard him start to slow down. He is just too hot in there. Locks it up. The rear slides out from underneath of him. And yeah, would have been speeding had he hit the commitment line, but the problem is that he did not. So that was a stop and hold penalty for Justin Michael for an improper pit entry. And that is what has taken him out of contention for the race win here. It's our season finale for season number 1 of 2025 for the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. Scott Patton in a big hole coming into tonight. He is the race leader. He is up 5 spots on Dakota Floyd, but Floyd still has the advantage in the championship by our unofficial calculations. It's tight, but Floyd is trying to put more numbers in between him and Patton right now. Watts, Nace, Mall, all for position. This will get Floyd back on to the podium if he's able to pass them all.
Floyd sitting with the freshest tires out of the top 10 drivers, so definitely poised to be the fastest one in this final stint. Gonna look to the inside of Mall into 3.
Floyd has got the bronze.
Pretty easily through with those fresher tires. Gonna take all 3 of those spots in one lap.
Patton is 8/10 clear of Heath Smith at the front of the field. Smith with 2.5 seconds back to Dakota Floyd. Zachary Groover making a move on Riley Laverne. Groover having a nice night, running up in 7th. Again, a reminder, we're back in 2 weeks to kick off season number 2 of the season. James Lehman, last person to put anything in the chat. I think we'll hear from him after the race. Yeah, crazy to think it'll be our 4th season here on Turn 200 with the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. We're very much looking forward to that. It'll be our final season of Max V coverage here on the channel. Don't look now. Heath Smith is kind of closing back in on Scott Patton just a little bit, added down to 6.5 tenths. Keep an eye on that. Jump back to Neese and Watts still going at it here for 5th.
Watts has very much been the underdog contender in this chase.
Yes.
Put in some very, very good finishes these past 5 races.
Certainly, he'll come away with a top 5 in the point standings when it's all said and done, as long as he can finish off relatively where he is right now. I don't think he'll be quite as overlooked for next season, that's for sure. Very quietly, solidly, the meme all season was that no matter how he ran the race or where he started, he always found his way very quietly into the top 10. But he has not been very quiet or much outside of the top 10 in this chase, to your point. Watts, really, really solid run over the last, really back half of the season, but especially these last 5 races. So we'll look for that trend to continue. Floyd making up about 2 to 3 tenths a lap on Heath Smith. Smith still pulling some time on Patton here by less than a tenth per circuit, but time is running out for the both of them. The time is running out for Scott Patton. If he's got a voodoo doll, now is the time to use it.
Yeah, again, so far a near picture perfect race for Patton, but not much he can do.
.2 seconds up the road for Dakota Floyd. Heath Smith. Smith now only half a second behind Patton as Patton got caught in the wake of the lap truck in front of him, who I believe is Rod Mitten, who's the second driver on pit road on this cycle. He is struggling to hang on at this point, running back in the 20th position. Mitten, another one that had a really strong chase up until this race. Still looking to hang on to a spot in the top 5 in the standings as well. We'll see if that comes to pass here with 4 laps to go. Mitten falling a lap down. Floyd is definitely going to make it interesting here. He just knows that he can't crash. That's really the only objective that he has, is to make sure that he finishes pretty much right here. Worst case scenario, just bring home the 3rd and you've got the championship on lock. Again, unofficially. We'll have the official number for you. Hopefully, they're usually pretty good about that here in Max V, having the results up even before we go off air. That's without the pressure of the championship official results hanging in the balance. Yeah, Rod Mitten going to come down pit road here with 3 laps to go. Heath Smith closing in 4 tenths of a second. Would love to bookend the chase with race victories.
Dakota Floyd also closing that gap down to Smith. Almost within a second for your top 3 drivers.
Patton looking for his 3rd win of the season. Be his first of the chase. Won the regular season finale at Michigan. He's got 4 miles to bring it home. In one hand, he'll be hoping for a caution, just so maybe something will happen to Dakota Floyd. But on the other hand, I'm sure if anything else, he'd just like to bring home 1 trophy tonight. And a restart would definitely complicate that.
Absolutely.
It does look like it's going to go green and white checkered to the regular checkered. White flag is out. Race is official. Patton with control. 1 second over Floyd. A 1/3 of a second back to Heath Smith. And Floyd fully in control of this championship battle. It was a great battle over the last 5 races. Scott Patton out of turn number 4, looking to take the win at Auto Club. He will come up just a bit short in his quest for the series championship. Dakota Floyd in 3rd will win the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series championship in season number 1 of 2025. Patton with the race win, his 3rd of the season here at Auto Club. Now, I say that for the soundbite. I'll walk it back a little bit just in case. We'll wait for the official numbers, but by my count, it's Floyd by 9. We'll wait for the polls to close, though. As drivers still making their way across the line, we won't know here for another couple minutes yet. But Floyd in formation with Scott Patton here. What a great battle these two had. Not just in the chase, but in the regular season as well. It was clear with Justin Michael and James Lehman not in it for the championship that these two were the two to beat. And they did just that. They put on quite the show. Here's Riley Laverne, his teammate. Kind of nose to nose. A little. I was going to say, they're about to blow up. There goes one. The other soon to follow, I would imagine. There we go. Nice to mute yourself right as you start to talk. Oh, what a night that it was. What a season that we had. It all comes to a close after 100 laps here tonight at the Auto Club Speedway. And here with the full finishing rundown we go. There we go. Scott Patton with the win. It is second place for Heath Smith. Third for your series champion, Dakota Floyd. We'll talk to these three momentarily. Fourth place tonight belongs to Greg Mall. Jack Watts will round out a very strong chase with a top 5. Jordan Neese in the 6th position. It's Zachary Groover in 7th. Charlie Widener, Riley Laverne, and Rob Haynes. The rest of the top 10. 11th for Christopher Howell, 12th for Trent Drum, it's Kerry Cleaver in 13th, Brad Slagle in 14th, Billy Bumgardner in the 15th position, 16th for Bill Paradise, 17th for Waldy Turheimer, Chris Braley, Chris Foyles, and Justin Michael. Very disappointing P20 after having that race on lock. It's 21st for David Rigsby. Rod Mitten with a late race pit stop will relegate him down to 22nd. 23rd for Will Kirk, Matt Rodolasso, and Joshua Fracker retired at the stage. From inside the top 10, he will finish in the 25th position. So that's the full finishing results from the final race of the season here at Auto Club. We'll start. We got to go in a weird order tonight, so we'll start with your second place finisher, and that is Heath Smith. Always great to get to talk to driver number 1 here tonight. Thought we might have been bookending the chase there with wins for Heath Smith, but we'll come up one spot short of that. Still a strong run here tonight.
Yeah, that was a blast, man. That's some good old Max V racing, no cautions, and except for the stage, and there's a lot of different strategies. I had kind of the long run pace going, and I was close. I was gaining, but just didn't work out.
You're hoping for 105 laps, I would imagine. But regardless, I mean, you had to really run the gamut here tonight, starting back in the 18th position. I mean, we saw you climbing steadily through the night, but how did you use the pit strategy to your advantage here to help you pick off a couple more spots?
Well, really, it wasn't pit strategy. I think I got in the top 10 in the first run for the stage break. And then once we got to running, I just kind of ran the bottom line the whole race, saving my tire. I was backing my corners up and just trying to, be fast on the longer run. And those guys was firing off really hot and kind of getting their tires chewed up. So I was just trying to cruise around and catch them at the end of those runs. And then I think I was pitting, well, I pitted on the same lap as the leader, one stop and one lap early the second stop. So really didn't use pit strategy, just that long run pace.
Joshua, what you got?
Man, congrats on the P2. Definitely a great race for you coming through the field. I mean, looking back at the season, I mean, it was a very full season, lots of different race winners, lots of championship shakeups. But I mean, great finish to the season for you. You got to be thinking about what next season looks like.
Yes, for sure. I'm looking forward to next season to get a whole new, just a reboot. And I won the opening race of the chase here, and then I had computer issues for the next ones. Seems like maybe tonight I got those things worked out, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited for next season.
Well, we don't have long to wait, lucky for all of us. We'll hopefully talk to you again here in a couple weeks, but one more time for the road here in season number 1 of the year. Let's get some shout-outs in before we let you go.
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank Max V admins, James Lehman. Hell of a job he's done putting this thing back together, and it was a little rocky at the start of the season, but man, we finished the season strong and had some outstanding races. And got to thank Kerry Cleaver, CNC Home Designs, and then of course my teammates at Highline, Charlie and Mike. They had a pretty good season also, and then of course Scott Patton tonight for the win and Dakota for the championship. I believe that's what I read. Dakota was a champion, so congrats to those two guys. And then of course Patton and Paints for these badass paints that he puts on the truck. Turn 200, Joshua Tommy, amazing job. I look forward to watching tonight's race back, and you do an outstanding job. So thank you guys.
Thank you, partner. Thank you for rocking the emblem on the hood. Greatly appreciated. Looking forward to one more season of it here to close out 2025. We'll talk to you again in a couple weeks.
Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
All right, we'll pull up your race winner now. It's always great to get to talk to Scott Patton, especially trophy hunting here tonight. We'll pick up the third win of the season. Congrats on the race win. I know when we talked at Darlington, we both knew it was going to be an uphill battle for you, but it's hard to argue that you didn't do everything possible in your that you had at your disposal to ensure a good outcome here tonight.
Yeah, that's verbatim what I told myself. Crossing the checkered, I knew I was short, but we did everything we could, right? Bonus points, lack of incidents, a green flag race. What more could you ask for? An awesome, swapping around the lead, that first stage with Dakota, Justin, all those guys to race a champion like that, fender to fender, that close for that long, says a lot about him, and it says a lot about this league. So hats off to Dakota, and that was did everything we could, and still proud of our effort here.
Certainly, it looked like it was interesting, and it did unfold in an interesting way. I mean, you and Dakota there, right after the stage break, were side by side for the lead for the better part of 5 laps. Everybody that was watching could see, I mean, these trucks just bouncing around here, seeing the tire fall off. I mean, you two working each other over at the front of the field like that. I mean, that's tough sledding at a place like this.
For sure. And I know Dakota is being the caliber racer that he is. He knows exactly what I was doing, but that was a psychological battle for myself more than anything. I knew giving up that spot, sure, I could give it up and he would still win the championship, more than likely. But that was a psychological battle of telling myself that he may get the championship at the end, but he's going to have to fight for every foot to get in front of me. And that's why we kind of hung on there and drove him deep in those corners and hung on the fenders. And he raced us clean the entire time. A couple door bangs here and there from both ends, and what a blast that was.
Joshua, what you got?
Man, congrats on the win. Once again, and being back up here with us. I mean, looking back at your season, I mean, P2 in the championship is definitely nothing to scoff at. There's so many very, very talented drivers here in Max V. But, I mean, just walk us back through your season and what it took to be here for the championship battle at this final race.
Yeah, proud of our wins. I think we had this is maybe 3 wins, I think, on the season. I would have liked to see that number be a little bit higher to chase those guys, Justin and Dakota and James even in the mix. But just some big mental mistakes, I think, that put us behind the power curve. The big one that comes to mind is Richmond off turn 2, the self spin from the lead, sets us back on the stage there. We lose, let's say anywhere from 3 to 5 points there from the stage alone. Never mind our finish there. Never mind the EOL. The next season or the next race, I think was Darlington, put us behind there on stage points. So it's all self-inflicted is the summary of it. So those things have got to disappear from this team next season. That's what we certainly plan on doing. Keeping the speed in the truck, keeping the consistency, keeping the great battles, but reducing those self-induced errors for sure.
I mean, I think it speaks to your caliber as a driver, which anybody that's even seen one of your races here on Turn 200 will know that. But, I mean, absolutely cursed start to the postseason for you, leading at IRP, being the truck to win there, and all the nonsense there with the pace truck picking you up at the wrong time to hit the pit road entry. I mean, I think that would have taken any other normal driver that was going for the chip out of it mentally right away. And the fact that you're able to battle back within a few points even over the course of the next 5 races, I think speaks volumes about your skill behind the wheel here. And it's always a pleasure getting to call you, whether it's to a race win or holding your head high there in a mid-pack finish undeservingly. But great stuff here tonight. Congrats on another victory. Congrats on another successful season. Anybody you want to shout out or say hi to here from the top step here tonight? Have at it.
Certainly. I'll give a shout out to my wife, who's she's not watching. I'm sure she's probably in bed by now, but she lets me do this on these Thursday nights, and it takes a whole team, and she's part of the team effort. So hats off to my wife Michelle and Martha Tierharmer, our biggest fan for Bandit Motorsports. She's watching. Appreciate all of her support and all the guys at Bandit. It takes a real team effort. I mean, those guys supported me coming into this championship race. We talked about strategies. We're talking about techniques and weather, different lines, qualifying, you name it. Everybody on that team had a lot to do with this second place finish in these standings. So certainly proud of that, and certainly proud to turn our heads to next season here at Max V with Turn 200. I think we're going to bring you guys home, I believe, this fall, and appreciate everything you guys do for us. Tommy, these guys are the best there is. I enjoy watching these battles and these broadcasts the day after. No matter if we get taken out on lap 2, I still enjoy watching the entire race. So hats off to you guys for putting on a quality show every single freaking week. So thank you.
Absolutely. Looking forward to one more season and looking forward to getting you one better over the course of the next 20 whatever weeks. But enjoy a couple weeks off, and we'll hopefully talk to you again in Phoenix.
Let's do it. Appreciate it, guys.
Excited for trophy hunting to be back on the menu here in a couple weeks' time. But the hunt for the trophy has stopped for, I think, probably the rookie of the season, Dakota Floyd, with the third place finish here tonight. But he takes home the big hardware after an incredible first season here in the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. Your champion driver is in booth 200. Welcome in, partner. Congrats on the podium. Congrats on the championship.
Thank you, sir. Feels good.
I mean, we all kind of knew that it was going to take something going horribly wrong for you here tonight to sort of bring Scott Patton back into it. You applied the pressure to Scott Patton all race long, had a couple of near misses, a couple of door bangs, but that's just kind of racing here at Auto Club. Did you ever feel like it was in real jeopardy at any point?
I definitely think I could have lost it at any point. Just one little mishap, or if I get a 4X somewhere, lose another point, or, some of these other guys were really fast tonight too and could beat me on strategy or just beat me straight up for that matter. So if I lost a couple more spots, it just puts them that much closer. And I was just trying everything I could in the stage to mitigate how many bonus points he was getting or the points he beat me in the stage. And thankfully I was able to just nose him out at the line at the stage. So I think I gave myself enough cushion to make it a little easier on myself. But yeah, I think at any point in that race, it could have all just went wrong.
I think, not only the fact battling on track, but sort of sending each other the mental battle as well. I mean, you two are side by side for the lead there for, I think, 5 or 6 laps in a row. Neither one of you willing to give an inch out on track. I mean, at what point does that go from playing mind games, trying to get yourself some track position, to just having a lot of fun racing for the lead at Auto Club?
I think it's just a mix of everything. We both know what's at stake here, so it was just a lot of fun racing him in general, even throughout the rest of the season. I just wanted to go out there and I wanted to earn it just as much as he wanted to go out and earn it. I didn't want to just sit back and kind of just points my way through it. I wanted to go out there and beat him straight up again, but I mean, he put up a hell of a race and was able to win it. So I'm more than happy with how things played out, and I'm glad we raced each other as hard as we did. It just made it that much more fun.
Well, Joshua, what you got for your champion driver of the season?
Man, huge congrats. I mean, it's no small undertaking to pursue the championship, nonetheless win it. I mean, championship racing starts from the moment you pull out onto the track for qualifying in that first race. I mean, just walk us through your season and what it took to get here onto this top step.
It was just consistent races, especially when it comes to the chase and stuff like that. It's just every race you have to mitigate your problems and capitalize on opportunities. It's from race one to the last race. What are you doing to get yourself in the best point situation, or even win races just to get yourself to the playoffs? And then once you're in the playoffs, it's go time. So there's no time to waste, and you got it. You have to be finishing really well. So I think my just biggest thing was consistency, and thankfully I was able to put quite a few wins together throughout the season, especially in the playoffs. Was able to get Darlington. So I think just putting myself in a position all season long to be where I am now is my foremost thought.
I mean, I can hardly think of all the probably 20 to 25 seasons that we've done here across all of our leagues on Turn 200. Thinking of, fast guys joining leagues, already well-established communities. I mean, you knew some guys that were in this league already. But, I mean, to come in and not only be fast, but to not rock the boat either, not set a foot wrong or run afoul of anybody. I mean, you fit right into this ecosystem right away. And, I mean, it was impressive to watch all season long.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate it. And I mean, I think that goes to show how well the community is here. Like, if you just come in and run these guys with respect and run them decent, run them clean, they're just going to welcome you with open arms. Just treat everybody the way you want to be treated on the racetrack. You can race hard, but there's clean ways to do it. And, I mean, everybody in this league has done exactly that. They've raced me super clean, but they've raced me hard. So I'm really excited to jump into the next season and just see what these guys can cook up for and see everybody get better.
Absolutely. We'll get to do it one more time here coming up in a couple of weeks' time. So you have a couple of weeks to relish it before we get back onto the track. But before we let you go here tonight, the floor is yours. The champion driver. Anybody you want to shout out or thank, have at it.
Yeah, definitely shout out the team, first of all. Richie couldn't be here tonight, and I wish he could have, so we could have shared the moment on the French stretch there. But Riley was here. He had his first top 10 finish on an oval, so I'm really proud of him. He's been putting in a lot of work, and he's just getting faster every week. So, but these guys support me day in, day out, every week, no matter where we're racing, whether it's here or somewhere else. Those guys have been absolutely key to my success. They just push me to get better all the time. Shout out to Scott. He raced me clean all season long. He definitely made me work for the championship. There was not at any point where it was a guarantee. I had to absolutely just run perfect the whole season to get where I am. So I definitely appreciate him for making it go to the end there. And shout out to everyone else in the league, like I already said as well. It's been a hell of a season, and I really appreciate James bringing me on, and I'm looking forward to the next season. Thank you guys in Turn 200 for awesome broadcasts all season long. You guys do a phenomenal job. Always fun to go back and watch. Thank you to all the sponsors and everyone that supports me racing every week.
All righty, partner. Go celebrate. Go party hard. We'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks in Phoenix, but go enjoy the off season, quote unquote, as the reigning series champion. You've earned it.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. Have a wonderful night.
And we're not done with the interview train yet because we're going to hot swap in a driver that is not here, so he doesn't get a fancy nameplate across the bottom of the stream, but he's the one that makes it happen week in and week out. Mr. James Lehman is in booth 200, partner. Congratulations on another couple of seasons here in Max V, but particularly wrapping up the truck season here.
Yeah, for season number 3 of us, reviving the league, it's good to end on a good note, a really good points battle between Scott and Dakota. Dakota only comes out 7 points ahead, I think is a pretty good pretty good showing of how tight the points are and tight the skill level is in this league. And I'm glad the race finished, flag to flag. I think that's amazing.
And certainly, a couple of low spots. You'll have that through a 20-week season, though. But I would argue the vast majority of the Truck Series this season was just not only great, memorable races, memorable finishes, but clean, good racing. And especially, on the backs of not only you, Justin Michael, Scott Patton, Dakota Floyd, and anybody else race to race that was in it for the win. Just absolute barn burner after barn burner all season long. And that's just what we've come to expect, and it never fails to disappoint.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Here at Max V, especially in our Truck Series, it's very good, hard, and competitive racing, but still clean at the same time. No matter if you're a teammate or not, we don't give an inch. That's for sure.
No, definitely not, especially among the Bandit boys. Looking ahead, we've only got a couple of weeks off before we're back to the start of the next season. But what can we expect? Any changes? Anything in particular that you're excited about that we're rolling out for the trucks here in a couple of weeks' time?
I would say there's two big changes coming to the next season. Well, three, if I'm being honest. One of them being we're bringing back a dirt race, courtesy of Turn 200. They really wanted a dirt race, and courtesy of Joshua, he's building the dirt setup for the truck currently right now, and we'll be at Dirt Track at Charlotte. So that should be fun with the trucks. And then another big change, instead of having two provisionals, we're dropping it down to one, and only two drop races. And then we are getting rid of the stage break.
Oh,
there will no longer be stage breaks. There will still be points awarded at that Pacific mark in the race, and we're also moving it from the 25% lap mark to the 30% lap mark. That way, it plays a little bit more into the fuel strategy, and because I've done a couple testing at some tracks, if you save enough, you'll meet it, and if you want those extra points, it's going to matter. Or especially if there's a caution, you got to make that big decision if you want to stay out and gain 10 points or pit and not get any points. So I think it's going to play into a factor a little bit, but there's no longer going to be a caution for that break. It's just going to be a point in the race where they can gain extra points. So definitely, I think that's going to play a strategy just in case there is a caution around that point. Or if you, certain tracks like Kentucky and Kansas and hell, even Darlington, you got to stretch the fuel an extra lap if you want to make it. So it definitely will be interesting at some of the tracks on the schedule next season.
Joshua, take notes there. He made sure to point out that we were the ones that wanted the dirt track race, so nobody would be mad at him after it was all done. But yeah, you're absolutely right about that. It's another fantastic 20-week schedule with a 5-race chase, dirt track at Charlotte on there. Penultimate race of the season at Daytona. That is always good for some chaos. Excited for that. Really just excited in general to bring it home one more time here on Turn 200 with the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series. For our final season of Max V Trucking here on Turn 200 before we step away from full-time broadcasting. So looking forward to that, but you've got the time here. Anybody you want to thank or shout out? Have at it, partner.
I just want to thank you guys first and foremost. You guys have been with us since we restarted the league, and I appreciate you guys being with us through it all, and looking forward to another season starting up in 2 weeks. You guys always do an amazing job broadcasting it. And appreciate everybody that participated in a Max V race this season. We hit record highs of drivers participating, and we officially have we had an average of 36 drivers per race this season out of all 20 races. So that was pretty amazing. That's a new record compared to the last 2 seasons. And yeah, looking forward to next season for both Monday night series and Thursday night. And if anybody that's watching that's interested in joining Max V, check us out at maxvracing.com, where you can get all the information about both our series, the schedules, and how to sign up. So thank you guys.
Thank you for all the work that you do. Thank you for keeping us employed as well. But greatly appreciate all the efforts that you go to in both series, and keeping order in the house, especially at times this season, especially Monday nights, a house divided. But greatly appreciate everything that you do, and all your admin team as well. And looking forward to doing it one more time here in a couple weeks' time. Enjoy a few weeks off, and we'll hope to talk to you back on track here in Phoenix.
All right. See ya.
And I want to, before we close up shop here, I want to say a big congratulations to your first season in the books, Mr. Joshua Motichek, here in the booth. I don't know how reality compared to expectations, especially as the season drug along there, but I would say, and I think pretty much anybody that's here week in and week out would agree, you did a fantastic job for your first time in the broadcasting world. So hats off to you.
Oh, I greatly appreciate that, Tommy. Yeah, expectations going in were a little all over the place. Never had an ounce before. I've always been a little bit of an introvert, like to listen instead of talk. So definitely was something that was very outside my comfort zone. But I love going back and watching the races from Venom Truck Series and other series that y'all broadcast that I'm a part of as a driver. So I wanted to be able to extend that favor and be able to put on that show from this side of the books and provide that for all the drivers here in MaxV. So it's been a great run. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to the second half of the year up here in the booth with you.
Yeah, and anything else you want to say to close out the season on track as well? I mean, what a great battle. I know we've said it in as many words, but Patton v. Floyd overall for the championship was fantastic. But man, all the drivers, Justin Michael, James Lehman, Greg Mall, anybody else, Heath Smith, Charlie Weiner, they all brought it through the course of the season, and really great stuff on track.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've run on track a couple times with these guys, and I mean, they're just in another class of their own. I mean, all these guys that compete. I mean, I would probably run at the very tail of the field with these guys. I mean, hats off to all of them. Super great racing. Always putting on a show. Always racing hard. And I mean, it comes down to the wire just about every race. So, I mean, hats off. I mean, it's amazing to watch for sure.
And so we don't have to wait very long until we get to bring it back on to your streaming device, television, whatever you got. MaxV CNC Home Designs Truck Series will be back for season number 2 of 2025 in just a couple of weeks from the new dogleg edition of Phoenix International Raceway. In the meantime, we got some more action for you coming up next week on Monday night. It's the Ghost Squadron Formula Super Series from Jerez Moto, 8:45 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. On Wednesday night, it's the ASRL Sports Car Championship presented by Purple Haze Autosport at the 2008 Atlanta Motor Speedway Infield Road Course. If you don't know, you're about to find out next Wednesday night. Get ready for that one. It is not to be missed, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time for that one. Thank you to everybody that was hanging out with us here tonight. Of course, the Motichek gang, as always. Shout out to Robin. Shout out to Bailey. Shout out to James Lehman. Thanks for him to coming up into the booth after the race as well. Thank you to Michelle Kirk. Thank you to JJ Games XX saying vamos. K-Bash, Kyle, thanks for hanging out with us. Jordan East, thank you for hanging out with us. Shout out to anybody else that was hanging out with us tonight. Martha Turheimer, I know, sounds like was watching. Appreciate the Turheimer gang as always, and excited to see what Wally could bring to the table next season as well. That's all we got for you here tonight, folks. Thank you to the entire MaxV admin team. Thank you to the drivers. We wouldn't have a show to put on if it weren't for them. Thank you to Mole Music Productions for the songs. We're going to start using Joshua Rutherford's music library, and we'll be adding a couple songs to that library here soon as well, with the addition of Daredevil back into the lineup here on Turn 200. Excited for what is around the corner here. That's all we got for you here tonight. Until we meet again from Auto Club Speedway, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long, and congratulations to Scott Patton on a spirited championship battle and a race win in the season finale. And congratulations to your champion driver of season number 1 of 2025 in the MaxV CNC Home Designs Truck Series. It is Dakota Floyd. Have a good night, everybody. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.